Thank you so much for staying with us. It's well over 4 months since President Buhari presented the budget to the National Assembly. But again, the budget has just been signed into law, which means that the president's signature and the president's assent means that the bill is now law. But for the National Assembly, they played a major role. The chairman of the National Assembly and the Senate president is talking about the implementation. They're going to stick the guns on making sure that the executive does the right thing. And let's listen to the Senate president on the implementation of the 2016 budget.
I think we've shown again that despite the challenges, we can come together and work as a government that we all have the interests of the people that have put us here. And I think we should look at the good side and more, and we forge ahead.
It's been a long road on this one. But again, to discuss this is a former senator and a former minister of works, a PDP chieftain. Senator Adeshewe Ogunlewe joins us on the program. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And from our Abuja studio is an APC chieftain, Mr. Osita Okechukwu. Many thanks for coming on the program. Let me start with you, Senator Ogunlewe. A former senator and a member of a former member of a cabinet. Here we've talked about budget, you and I, on this program. It's been signed into law. Practically, what should we be expecting from this point now?
Well, let me reiterate the need for cooperation between the National Assembly and the presidency on all policy matters, all programs of government, budget proposal, budget processing. That is the way to get it right. Immediately you separate yourself from the National Assembly on anything for that matter, you are going to run into a problem. So from the beginning I said so. It's the same government, and they must carry the members along. See what happened within 2 days. I wish they did this 3 months ago.
The president met with the leadership of the National Assembly. There was another meeting held on Wednesday. They call it the G19 meeting, where we had a lot of, majorly the leadership of the National Assembly. Do you think that the political will was thrown into the ring?
That is the carcass of the party. That was what I was saying. And that was not what was not available in the past administration.
Why did they wait for so long?
Well, it is a process. Everybody must learn about it. That in a presidential system of government, for appropriation purposes alone, not alone, you need the National Assembly concurrence on everything you put on the table. If you did so at the beginning, on any issue, you have very little problem. In 2 weeks, they will pass that budget for you. But if you rely on the public officers, civil servants, they will pad it, they will add their own, they will do all sorts of things there.
You must have had, you must have had your kind of frustration as a member of cabinet and sitting there and waiting for the National Assembly. Majority of them who are members of your party, and wait a moment, you're wondering, why are these guys delaying on this matter? 4 months, that's how long it took for them to pass the budget. No, but again,
I didn't have that problem at all.
When you were serving in the cabinet?
At all. They were part of me. My office was open all day long for members of National Assembly.
How was it different with the APC government?
It is the way out. Don't shut your door against the National Assembly on any matter. Before you prepare any form of bill whatsoever, call them, discuss with them. In another 1 month, this bill will become law. But if you do it alone, and you now pass it to them, and they are seeing it for the first time, then you run into a problem. Right. Mr. President, they are part and parcel of you. Anything you want to do.
I remember you once said that the president needs to start playing politics.
Yes.
But was it too late for him to start?
No. He has learned a lesson now. Yeah. The 2017 budget, get this G19 together, present the budget to them, let them discuss it, let them have their own input. When it gets to the National Assembly, they defend it. And it is passed almost immediately. All right,
Mr. Osita Okechukwu, many thanks for coming on the program. You heard, from the experience of Senator Ogunlewe there, it took your party 4 months to settle in and making sure that that budget was signed into law. Playing politics was not part of what we saw President Muhammadu Buhari do in this particular budget. Do you think that your party is getting it right and learning the ropes now?
What I would say is that the budget is a landmark budget. It 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 is a landmark budget. is a poster of the change agenda of President Muhammad Buhari, and they had gone far to distinguish between what we had in the last 16 budgets, where none of the former president took time, detail by detail, because they say it is in the detail that the devil lies. President Muhammad Buhari had exposed some of the unintended consequences of failed policies. He had shown actually that constituency project is more akin to parliamentary system, where each minister and each parliamentarian, both the prime minister, defends his own constituency. He has shown that in the presidential system, that the country, our dear country Nigeria, is the constituency of Mr. President, and that's why he had differentiated highly from the previous budget. For the first time in the last, since we returned to democracy in 1999, this is the first time the capital budget is more than 30%. And Mr. President had said it is an article of faith, and this is the banner in which he's going to fulfill the social contract he has with the Nigerian people, because in coming to power, he said, I will fight corruption, I will also fight insecurity, and I will revamp the economy. And if you know what the pace he had taken, yes, 4 months down the line, but it's not how far, but how good.
All right.
What he has succeeded in doing,
Mr. Osita,
those projects.
Yeah, of course, a lot of people will know that, I mean, the president called it the budget of change. A lot of things Nigerians are anticipated that they were going to change. But in the real sense of it, the politicking within your party has delayed this budget. Do you agree?
No, it's not politics per se. What I could call that happened is a hangover, where most people did not think, especially the bureaucrats, they did not think that Mr. President would take the pains to go line by line, dot by dot, comma by comma, to go through the budget. They never anticipated that, because that was not positioned in the past, especially in the last 5 years. The former president did not take that pain to go through the budget. So what happened was that Mr. President was able to sit down and look at those projects, those bridges that were heading to nowhere. And he captured essentially items that will help to revamp the economy, that will help to provide jobs, that will help to build critical infrastructure. He devoted 200 billion to construction, to road construction. And knowing who he is, we are also aware he's going to implement it.
Just a moment.
It's not about politics.
Okay.
It's about
okay.
a hangover of the past.